So in this video I will show you how to connect the MicroBit to P5 to control pong. So let's start. So first we need to find pong or program it, but I'm a bit lazy, so let's search for a P5 pong game. And there's this game that is created by Emma Wasson, and that is already existing pong game, so you can play it here. So basically the paddle is connected to the cursor, and you can see that it is on the left side of the paddle, and yeah, you can play pong this way. So if we go a bit into the code, then you can see that it's drawing the rectangle here. So this is something we might need to change. It's checking if the paddle is at the place of the ball over there. So we might need to change something there as well. And we need to connect this using Bluetooth to the MicroBit. So first we need to make some code for the MicroBit. So we go to the MicroBit website, say let's code, and go to the make code editor. So here we say P5 pong MicroBit game. Cool. And then we create that. And basically what we need is the Bluetooth module. That's a module that you need to add. So it's over here. So if you search for Bluetooth here, you will find it. And it should also be one of the first ones. So it asks to remove the radio extension and replaces that with Bluetooth. So that's fine. Cool. So now we need to add some blocks. So it's nice to have a on Bluetooth connected block, on Bluetooth disconnected block, and we need to start the UART service. UART is like serial communication, so it will send values from the MicroBit to P5, and P5 can also send values back. But it basically works similar as Arduino serial communication. Then it's nice to always draw something. So when it started, we just draw a circle, and then when Bluetooth is connected, we can start drawing a check mark, and when Bluetooth is disconnected, a cross. And so this is sort of the basic setup. There is one thing that you need to do, which I figured out by quite some struggle, but you need to go into project settings and you need to say no pairing required. So this means that anyone can sort of access the Bluetooth on the MicroBit, but for the browser to find it, you need to have that enabled. Besides that, we need to check if it's connected. So we're gonna add a variable called connected. And connected is at the start 0, and we're gonna set it to 1 when it's connected, and we're gonna set it to 0 when it's disconnected. So now we have all the sort of basic setup done. Let's try to download this. So I didn't update the firmware on this MicroBit yet. So it shows up as a file, and you need to drag it into the MicroBit. Cool. So now you can see it started, but it's not connected yet. To connect it, I made a little script that you can include into P5. So first we need to duplicate this P5 sketch and then add a new file called Bluetooth connection.js and paste this in there. I will share the link to this code in the description, but it basically says MicroBit connect, which needs to be done when it's connecting to the MicroBit, and this needs to be called by or a mouse press or a key press, but some user event. MicroBit disconnect happens. You need to call that when you want to disconnect it. MicroBit write string is to write something to the MicroBit. MicroBit receive message will trigger whenever it got some message. So let's try that. So let's go back to sketch.js and on mouse pressed, for example. So function mouse pressed. We need to call MicroBit connect. Yes, and then press start. And when you press now, it doesn't work because MicroBit connect is not defined, and it is because it's not included in the scripts yet. So over here in the top, in the head of your HTML file, is including all the scripts that it needs to run the sketch.js. So here I should just add a script. So similar as the other scripts, you need to give it a source, and the source is Bluetooth connection.js. Make sure you spell that right. Yes, and then close that again. So what it's doing now is it's going to this file first, running this file, and then sketch.js should be able to use the functions in there. Cool. So yeah, now you can see that it works. So if you now connect, you can see that the check mark is on and that it's connecting to P5. Nice. So now one thing we need to do is to check if it's connected. So if connected is 1, then it can start sending values. So to more. So say Bluetooth UART right number, and then we're going to use the roll. It's this direction of the MicroBit, and that is an input and more. So you send the rotation and then the roll of the rotation. Then it's always good to sort of pause for a little bit, otherwise it would send a lot of messages really fast. So now it's pausing for 100 milliseconds, and let's download that again. Yes, show in Finder and then drag it onto the MicroBit. Nice. So it's running again. So now we can pair it. And now you can see it's receiving the values. So that's really nice. But it says MicroBit received message is not defined. So let's define that. So MicroBit received message is over here, and in sketch.js we need to define that. So here, and we just need to. So now it's receiving the message, and it's going to use that to change the position of the pedal. But the position of the pedal is now controlled by the mouse X. So we need to replace the mouse X with pedal X pad. So now we replace all the instances of mouse X with X pedal. And here we need to do something to change X pedal and we need to map the value. So what you can see is that it's going, this is 90, minus 90. This is 90 as well. So minus 90 till 90 is the sort of range that you want to use to control it. So let's use that. So message minus 90 till 90. So what map is doing is it's taking the value and it's taking a minimum and a maximum and then using that to map that to a new minimum and maximum. So 0 is all the way on the left on the screen. So as you can see, minus 90 is tilted all the way to the left. So now it will be on the left side of the screen. And tilted the other way is the width of the window. So then it would be all the way to the right. And it would probably be invisible. So it's probably good to change that to width minus the pedal length, which is 90. Yes. Let's try that again. Okay. There's some mistake. Yeah. So you always need to define that it's a function first. Cool. So now it's not controlled by the mouse anymore. But let's see if we can control it through the MicroBit. So now you can play this game with the MicroBit. You can control the pedal and your score will increase when you're hitting it right. So thank you for watching. I will share the code of the MicroBit and the code of P5 in the description, and have fun playing with this.